Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time again. From the deepest jungles to the outmost reaches of space and beyond the veils of death itself, the Bald and Bonkers boys are back for another episode. It's no secret that you won't know what will happen next, but Dakota Franson and Chris Moll promise that all bets are off. Viewer discretion and straitjackets advised. These two idiots live up to the name.
What did you do there?
Did the video end early?
No.
No? Did it play through for you all the way?
Aye. Well,
no, I didn't realize I forgot to turn down my phone. So,
ladies and gentlemen, this is what happens when he watches too much Pornhub.
Christopher.
What?
Speaking of which, we need we have a bone to pick with some of the lurkers in the audience.
Oh, I know.
I think we should address it because thank God we weren't really saying anything nasty. But to the lurkers who were sitting there watching us after we said the live ended and apparently the thing didn't shut off like it was supposed to, why didn't you fucking tell us we were still on the air?
Because they're lurkers. And the Dots was probably in there drinking his tea. He was stirring the tea, and he's like, "Oh, we're getting some juicy gossip here." Ooh,
I don't know what it is. It was like
stirring his tea anti-clockwise, you know.
It plays a video to send us out, and as the video ends, it's supposed to turn off the stream. For some reason, last night it didn't.
How many viewers on TikTok we got? I'm going to click on TikTok. Actually, it's something I've never actually watched a live on TikTok. Tiki-talkie.
One right now because I turned on adults only mode.
How really? How do you?
Christopher, don't get any ideas.
Well, oh look at that! We're live. We're live. On TikTok.
Yeah,
I get really. I
go live on TikTok.
TikTok.
And actually, did you know we also have merch in the TikTok shop?
Did we?
Yeah, you can get Bald and Bonkers merch.
The TikTok shop's actually quite good. You know.
Yeah, you can get your girlfriend a nice Bald and Bonkers bikini.
I might just do that. What about yours, girlfriend? Oh, she never said anything there. She never said anything because you're all ready for your big event. You know, you've got your mask and all that looked out. You know, ladies and gentlemen, he's got this fetish where he likes masks.
So.
But he's got this fetish, ladies and gentlemen, where he likes to wear a mask. You know, look, is it what is it? Phantom of the Opera, the mask that the person wears. What's it called? The mask called again?
Oh, masquerade mask.
There you go, masquerade masks. He's going to swag into the kind of UFO event, you know, with his masquerade mask on and go. Hello,
no, but I think I need to find myself an afro for the disco.
An afro.
I know, y'all. We're just fucking with y'all.
Is Dots no going to the big event? Is Dots no going to the big event in Florida?
No, I don't think he's gonna make it.
Oh, yeah, that's a shame. You know, what's this? I missed it. A friend called halfway through. Oh, that's terrible. You know.
Anyway, I know. We're just fucking with y'all. That's all.
I know.
So we're just messing with you.
So tonight, who have we all got in the stream anyway? We've got Lawrence, we've got Dots, we've got who else we got in there?
We got a random Facebook user. Hello to whoever you are.
And to the lurkers that watch, welcome to Fright Night. Remember the Fright Night? Or maybe you're too old for that. Too young for that, I mean.
Hey,
remember the Fright Night? Remember the original movie Fright Night? Well, I'm maybe old, but I'm handsome. Look at this way.
He did not just hear a thing I said, did he?
No, I didn't, because it's called selective hearing. See, when you get to my age, you can have this thing, and it's called selective hearing. See, I'm looking forward to being an old bastard. I really am. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to have my walking stick.
I'm already going to end up being a 30-year-old grandfather, man.
I know. You know, but you don't change much. I mean, I was looking through, like, your mum was posting pictures the other day there, right? And honestly, you've not changed much. There's a picture of you must be like 12, and you look exactly the same as you look right now.
Which photo was that?
It was like a kind of cliff, and there was folk climbing on it and stuff like that. But you look exactly the same.
Yeah, that was City of Rocks.
Aye,
I
yeah,
was
honestly,
15 in that one.
he hasn't changed. I think he's got the secret fountain of youth or something in his cellar. You know, you got a cellar, no?
Hey, I tried telling you that I haven't aged since middle school.
Can you imagine middle school? Middle school, what's that? What age are you at middle school? I don't know how it works in America.
That would be about 12 to 14.
So, hello, Kelly. So, when you were 12, you looked exactly like what you look like now. That must have come
Well,
in handy for buying beer
not quite.
for your friends.
I still had hair on my head by then.
There was like 2 wee hairs, one bent that way and one bent the other way.
No, I was 14 when I started shaving
I would
my
love
head.
to see a picture of you with hair. You know, oh, Emerald Airs Paranormal, hello. Here, look, I would love to see a picture of going. If Dakota's mum is watching this, please can you post a picture of Dakota with hair?
I think she should be in bed right
I
about
want
now.
to see what you look like with hair. I mean, I actually think it's frightening.
No, I actually used to have curly enough hair to where people thought I had a perm.
I meant to say I couldn't upload it in time, but I found a picture of your acting.
Really?
Your
You're
acting.
gonna go for sloth again? Really?
Honestly, ladies and gentlemen, look at that. You can move that about there. You can put that. Oh, what do you think, ladies and gentlemen? I think he's a double for that. What do you think? Honestly, I think you've done a great job in that movie. Honestly, it's the best movie ever.
Not like I haven't heard that one 1,000 times.
Oh, come on. Oh, see,
And you want to know what actually ended up?
My phone's no
You want to know what actually happened with a lot of those guys that tried that joke?
What?
I ended up sleeping with their girlfriends. But don't
Jenny's
worry,
probably rolling about in mad
Jenny's
laughter
not my
this
type.
week.
Jenny's not my type, so.
You've got to in for, what do you call it? You've got to, as I say, Jenny, if you just joined, Dakota's got this terrible thing for wearing those masks that the Phantom of the Opera had. You tell us the name, but I forgot it straight away. But anyway, enough about.
There's also handcuffs and whips, but if you really want to get down to it.
Oh, handcuffs and whips. Don't be getting dots in there all excited. You're getting dots all excited, you'll be talking about handcuffs and whips and stuff like that.
It's like, thank God I've finally found the damn key.
Thank God TikTok's set on adults only mode, you know. But anyway, World War III. What's happening?
I don't know. Like we were talking about at the end of the show last night. The criteria for war has changed so much. World War III could very well be transpiring as we speak, and nobody would say a thing because it's so slow. And much like this loser over here who plays too much damn Call of Duty, we have completely different expectations of what would actually happen.
The one thing straight here, I've not played Call of Duty in 2 years.
Sure.
I did play GTA 5. I'll admit openly that I did play GTA 5. I can't help it. I like
11 years straight on that one.
11. No, it's only been out for 10 years. 10 years, young man.
Been going on
10
11.
years. Do you think when I was playing that, what age were you? 17? My God. When I first started playing GTA 5,
I would have been 16.
You were 16. Just a baby.
Yeah, by the time I was 16, I was already a published author.
Nah, well done to you. You have got a lot of books. Please check out his books, guys. You should post it in the room because you've got a new book that's just coming out of,
Aye.
Check it out, ladies and gentlemen.
We got books coming out till the end of the year.
And you've also got that movie that you posted in the chat earlier.
Nandor Fodor and the Talking Mongoose. With Neil Gaiman, Simon Pegg, Ruthie Connell. Good cast.
I'm just saying, welcome on TikTok, William Hendricks. Welcome. And just I thought I'd give them a shout out because then they feel special because you've shouted them out. You see.
Yeah, but then they disappear the second you actually say anything.
Nah, that's very true. But never know. But anyway, look, warfare now is going to be fought differently. I mean, World War One, it was meant to be the war that ends all wars. Well, it didn't
Yep.
end all wars. It started off World
We
War
got all
Two.
of that stuff.
World War One caused World War Two. Right? If
Yeah.
World War One had never happened, Hitler probably wouldn't have come into power. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what would have happened, but I don't think that would have happened.
What platform would he have had to stand on?
I mean, look, World War One was a mad, idiocy war, and I'll tell you why. Because it was old school generals that thought marching loads of troops into battle against each other, they would win, and it didn't work. It just ended up with loads of death and carnage. A lot of inventions, though. The tank was invented. Tank was invented. A lot of inventions were invented during World War One. World War Two, there was even more inventions. You think about the Enigma machine, the computer that broke the Enigma machine. You think about all the vehicles, the engines, the jet engines that were invented, the rockets that were invented in World War Two. So World War Three, and this is true to say this, guys. When World War Three starts, which we're probably in it right now, to be purely honest with what's happening, you think of the technology advancements. You think about it, because war does make inventions. You think about it.
With World War III, you got to consider there's going to be supply shortages. There's going to be more likely several cyber attacks. Constant fans getting flamed on just inter-country division on whoever's being targeted. It's not going to be a situation where guns are going off and bombs are blasting everywhere. Something that I've always criticized, knucklehead over here. It's going to be very different.
No.
War has evolved.
No, it's going to be different in some places. It's got to be different, right? I'm going to say this right now, Dakota. It's not going to be all behind the scenes stuff. You look at Ukraine right now. Russia is bombing the shit out of Ukraine. Ukraine is getting weapons for the West, and we're bombing the shit out of Russia, right? Look what just happened. Look what just happened the other day there. I mean, there was a admiral killed, and it was a digestible pool, it was called, or something like that. And it was a British-made rocket guided by a NATO aircraft. And they're openly doing it now. They're openly attacking. Do you know that Poland has drew out a supply in Ukraine weapons?
Mm-hmm.
Because Ukraine's not getting them, what do you call it, grain, food.
Mm-hmm.
You see, they're only doing it because they want something, right? And I can tell you something right now. What's happening over there, everybody says, oh, it's far away. Ukraine's far away and stuff like that. It's not that far away. It's not that far away. Look at the real situation that's going on now with Taiwan. Now, that's going to be interesting. Taiwan is going to be a war. There's going to be jets. There's going to be planes. There's going to be everything. There's going to be explosions. They want that island. They want that island, and they will get it. I don't know if they'll do it this year because their window's closing rapidly because that sea gets rough at certain times a year and it can't be invaded.
Mm-hmm.
So if they're going to do it, they better do it soon before that window closes, before the typhoon season starts.
Mm-hmm.
What's that, Dots saying there? Both world wars were planned. Exactly, Dots.
And funded by governments.
And funded by the governments. Yeah.
Funded by governments because the Federal Reserve wanted to line its own pockets.
Exactly.
And it doesn't have to necessarily blow it out. Yes, we got situations where bombs are being dropped, but that's only a prelude.
See, the thing is, right, we've got internet. Internet runs everything now, right? Like, obviously, what we're doing right now, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, everything. Contactless, when you go to buy something, contacts, the internet runs that. People don't realize that, but that's the internet runs that. Can you imagine a massive cyber attack that takes out the internet just for one day?
unfortunately, the one thing that would prevent that happening is because the people who would launch that attack would still need the fucking internet in order to launch the damn
Aye.
attack and everything they would plan on afterwards.
But what you have to remember too is like the US government, and let's take the US government, one of the most powerful military mights in the world, right? They've got their own satellites. Right. So even if like say Elon Musk satellites go down, or the normal satellites go down, US military still got satellites that's going to run. US military still get GPS, but you can't use that. You can't use that to go and play your Xbox or whatever. That's special satellites that are shielded in space.
But here's the thing, though. If the U.S. military satellites were as truly powerful as you're implying, why is the military trying to request Elon Musk's approval to utilize Starlink in order to sabotage the submarines, Russian subs?
Because Elon Musk is a clever bastard. And I'm going to say that right now. That
We'll give him
guy,
that.
look, that guy is clever, right? He's very, very clever. He's very rich too. What is he worth? About 500 billion or something like that. He's until they bought Twitter. That is, no, he's not worth that much more. But anyway,
No, he still got a lot of money to him.
right. But here's the thing, right? I think going to Mars is a great idea and all that. But it'd probably be better spending the money on the Earth. Get what I mean? Or like because he's worried in case the world ends or something like that. Wants some people to survive, which is all right, I suppose. But you look at Starlink now, right? There's parts. I watched a program about this. It's actually really good. It's on YouTube. I'll send it to you after. And in the battlefield now in Ukraine, right? That Starlink satellite, the connection is that good. They're getting like 1,000 gig per second internet. I mean, that's ridiculously good. That's like living in like downtown New York in a penthouse suite. That's how.
That's better than New York. What are you talking about?
Yeah, what I'm saying is, they're getting the best. The Starlink, right? That Starlink's a great idea. I know a few farmers round about me that have actually got it. They actually used to get their internet through satellite, and it would be like 5 meg per second. See now they're getting like 1,000 gig per second. They were showing us that and how it runs their machines. Yeah.
Once the signal fully calibrates itself, it usually takes a few weeks. There's a friend of mine not too far from me. He uses Starlink for his voiceover gigs. It took him about 3 weeks for it to fully calibrate, but once it was down, his internet is miraculous. And when the situation with Ukraine started, Elon was the first to start sending satellite uplinks towards Ukraine, so they had communications, and flipped the bill to the U.S. government.
But you see, the thing is, with old Mr. Musk here, what age is Mr. Musk? Is he in his 40s, 50s?
Mid-40s, I believe.
Right. Did he not turn around to the US government and tell them to bugger off? He says he wasn't going to let them use it for that.
Yeah, that's how, and he announced it on Twitter that transpired. No. That's how we know about it.
Like, there's the undersea cables. A lot of people don't realise that even if the satellites go down, there's the undersea cables that's still getting used. See, me talking to you right now, I'm actually going through the undersea cables right now, right? There's 2 undersea cables, main undersea cables. Even if they cut one, there's a backup, right? Yeah. So the Russians would need to cut both of them simultaneously to take it down. But at the same time, there's still satellites. So it would need to be drastic to cut the internet completely, unless it's a virus, unless it's like a virus that infects the servers. And that is a real possibility.
But that's the thing. Anytime a virus like that has actually been launched, it usually fired back at the creators.
Exactly. But maybe it's a weapon of last resort. You think about it. You think of the devastation with the internet doing just for a day or two. You think of the devastation. The financial markets would crash, and the governments would love that, because then they can bring in their CBD system, all everybody cares about that. It's digital currency, right? And then you get your digital currency, and you can only buy certain things that they allow you to buy.
Here's
So
the thing:
think
that
about
digital currency wouldn't work as well if they go to shut the internet down,
exactly. But all
and the
they need to do is
financial
shut the
system's already collapsing.
but all they need to do is shut the internet down for one day. Can you imagine? Can you imagine the devastation? People when they buy stuff, things would go bust. People would lose money. Everything would go into meltdown. You think about, good God, think of all the people going, I can't go to Facebook. I can't go to post a picture of my dinner.
You know, situation with my younger cousin. She's about 16 years old. Her phone was taken away to try to alleviate some of the issues, and
God.
which didn't work very well. The second she got a phone back in her hand, she was physically shaking.
Yeah.
Like she was having fucking withdrawals.
Yeah, I know someone that they're having problems with their daughter, and the daughter stays up all night, and then sleeps all day, just watching TikTok. And they'll watch
Yeah.
maybe they'll watch like for 6 o'clock at night till like Jesus, like 8 o'clock in the morning. That's how much they're watching, right?
Yeah, no. My
And
sister was like that. She physically looked at me and said, "Well, I haven't watched all the videos on there." My fucking literally, that's what my sister actually gave me as a line when she would pull that crap.
look, I think we are in World War III. We've been in World War III for the last couple of years, ever since we started invading countries for their oils and resources. Right, we've been in World War III. We have been. I mean,
Yeah.
I will say this: America, you are diabolical. You really are diabolical. And yes, the UK is the same. We do everything that you tell us today, like Nord Stream to the piping, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh dear, that got blew up. I wonder who did that. Right, that was the UK government doing it for their masters.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I will say this: you have invaded. America has invaded a lot of countries because of the resources, your oil. And look, George Bush, look at the Bush family, look at the Bush family. A lot of people didn't realize this, but in Iraq, most of the oil wells that are in Iraq right now are owned by the George Bush family.
Yep.
And he took them. He took them for his sale when he invaded. And that's the madness of this. And now everybody's going after oil now and said, "Ooh, it's bad. It's going to kill the planet. Ooh, the planet. Let's go electric now." But you still need to make electricity and stuff. So what are they doing now? They're invading countries with other resources like cobalt, lithium, aren't they?
Saying, "Oh, CO2 is building up, but they're chopping down all the trees in order to make solar farms." It's not as if the trees aren't there. The fact that we're cutting down the trees aren't there to take care of CO2.
Yeah. Look.
In fact, we've made artificial trees that do like 5,000 times better than real trees when it comes to CO2 conversion.
Yeah.
Where's those at?
Right.
Where's
I'm
those at?
going to hit you with, and you probably know this already, but there's people in the chat don't know this. See, wind farms, I think they're the biggest waste of money in the history of mankind, right? Round about me, they're putting them in the moors and stuff, but they're also cutting down trees to put them up, right? And I think they make the scenery, it's destroying the scenery, right? I was talking to one guy one day, and it's today with Scottish Power that run their turbines. And I seen an 18-wheeler that just drove past me in this wee gravel road. I'm like, where the hell's that going? It's a big tanker, a big fuel tanker. And the guy's sitting drinking his coffee, and I say, I ken him, I ken his name, and I says, where's that going? Because I thought it was got to fuel at the Land Rovers up and stuff. And he says, no, it's to power the windmills. And I'm like, no, they could ruin themselves with the wind. He says, oh, no. In the winter time, you've got to, if there's no wind or whatever, and when it gets to a certain temperature, you put a current into them to turn them, because that's what a generator is. It's just a big electric motor. So if you put a current into it, it'll start turning, right? So they've got generators. They've got 5 generators near me, big massive generators, and they
Mhm.
start them up. Like they don't take it off the national grid. They start the generators up, right? Burning oil, right, to make the windmills go round.
Mhm.
In
I know. We
stormy
have
nights, they have to
windmill
do it.
farm.
In stormy
We have
nights,
a,
if it's
we have windmill farms from here, and I've seen those tanker trucks too heading up that way.
it takes the piss. It takes the utter
Yeah.
piss. Look, it's the biggest waste of money in the history of mankind. And I'll tell you, it's happening in Canada a lot. They're cutting down all the trees to
Yeah.
build windmills. I was talking to actually one of them. This is actually an interesting fact. See how Britain's trying to go clean, and their green footprint, their carbon footprint, or whatever it's called. And one of them was quite high up. I'm not say his name because I can't watch my shows sometimes. And he was telling me that Britain, he was with a couple of other guys that was sent to restart coal power stations in the United Kingdom to get them ready to be restart
Mm-hmm.
this year. There's 2 oil ones and there's 2 gas ones that's ready to be. They're all ready. All they need is press a button to turn them on, and they don't know why they've been told us. It's all preparation for something that's going to happen. I wonder what it is.
You also have to take into consideration when we'll go. It was like Ken Jackson points out, hemp was actually a
That's right.
fairly versatile resource. It helped with carbon. The
Yep. Make stuff
plants
with the
could
time.
actually rejuvenate the soil when it was used in farms. Hemp steel was
Mhm.
actually several times more stronger than the steel we have in cars.
You
There's
can
entire
actually,
industries built around it, and it was economically friendly. That was taken down back in what, like the 30s, 40s?
there's actually modern cars now, Peugeot to be exact. Their dashboards are made out of hemp, and the seats are made out of hemp. And
There was no,
Citroen is
there
it?
was a
It should be, yeah,
no, there
they're
was a
actually
point
made out
where
of
the
hemp.
steel and the steels of the actual frames of the cars were hemp
Hmm.
too.
Yeah,
But you also gotta consider there's been several people who have done the math and adjusted the information for inflation. Right now, what's going on, what we see happening now, we are in a worse situation than the Great Depression.
oh yeah, yep.
We are.
Have you seen the homelessness in Los Angeles and San Francisco
And the
and other?
fentanyl problem, my dear
Oh
God.
Jesus, I seen
The
that actually. It was a
fucking
police
fentanyl
officer.
zombies.
I I watched a thing about this, and it was actually, I can't remember. It was a documentary about police officers in America, and the police officer stopped someone, and he touched something that went in his hand, and it was a high grade fentanyl, and a fellow police officer had to give him like as an EpiPen to save
Mm-hmm.
his life because it was. Honestly,
Yeah.
I've seen. There's people living in tents. It's terrible.
And a lot of them, they're just standing there in the streets, motionless, literally looking like something out of the beginning
Now they're walking
stages
about.
of The Walking Dead.
They're walking about like that. Yeah.
And it's just like, how the hell does it get that bad?
It gets that bad because the government don't give a flying fuck.
Yeah.
They only care about their tax and their money. They want you to go work, make money, bring it home, get it to them. Go work, make money, bring it home, get it to them. That's what they want today, so they can spend ridiculous amounts of money on stupid things.
Yeah. And that's why the system is in so much jeopardy as it is right now. Like we said before, and the math is there. Only 9 to 10% of the world's currency is physical cash.
Yeah. The US is bad for it. The US just prints more money anytime it wants to.
Oh yeah, and that's not the U.S. printing the money. That's the Federal
The
Reserve,
UK does it
which is a
too.
private company. Which the
Yes.
Federal Reserve is a private company that outsources to several countries. And isn't it convenient that several of the wars in the recent couple decades have been with countries that didn't have a Federal Reserve?
Yeah. Look, Russia, and this is why it's all happening now. Russia, North Korea. Well, let's face it, North Korea is backwards. North Korea, China, and other African countries and other
India
countries
and
out there,
South Africa.
are all bunching together. They're all siding up and starting their own currency, right?
Yeah.
And it's a lot stronger than the dollar is.
Yeah, they're not stupid. They realize that the US rather freak out about not offending trans people than to actually solve issues that are going on. And again, that goes back to what I was saying before, fueling division, because a lot of these people also don't recognize when it comes to the chemicals, the drugs that are taken to alter hormone levels in the human body, they can actually cause violent and psychotic outbursts.
Yeah.
There was a gentleman in the town I grew up, right? He was transitioning into a woman.
Yeah, right.
Killed his entire family.
Okay, whereas the news waiting death row or something.
No, he took his own life.
Right.
And what bothers me is that out of that sentence, people are more concerned about misgendering someone than the fact that they just killed off innocent people.
Yeah.
Now, the family was already had some history with mental issues, as it is my understanding.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, when you also take into consideration the psychological factors, the trans process is becoming an enabled form of bodily mutilation, of self-harm.
Look, I'm going to say this one more time. I don't have anything to say against gay people, right? Lesbians, men going out with men, women going out with men. You get what I'm saying here? I don't have nothing against it, right? I think that there's nothing wrong in it. But I do say this, that is starting to get a wee bit out of hand now. Right?
Mm-hmm.
See this with teaching kids stuff and all that at really young ages about lesbians and stuff like that. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be a lesbian. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be gay. There's nothing wrong with it. But I will say this. Did you see that video, We Are Coming for Your Children? Did you see that?
Yeah. Yeah, you showed me that one.
I mean, that's just ridiculous. That's just ridiculous. And people will be asking, what's this to do with World War III? It's all tied up, guys. It's all tied up.
It's all tied up. Divide and conquer.
Divide and conquer. They want society attacking each other, against each other. So it turns their eyes away from all the things that's happening around the world. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You think of the money that's getting poured right now into Ukraine. It's getting poured into Ukraine. I mean, Jesus and all that's fucking holy here, by the way. And again, it's a Sunday. I don't care for my swearing. I'm very sorry. But Jesus and all that's holy. See that guy in charge of Ukraine? What's his name? Zelensky. Have you seen the videos on YouTube and all that, and TikTok especially, him doing mad dances? He's an actor. He's a pawn.
Yeah, he was a comedian.
He's a pawn in all this. He's a pawn. Yeah. And it's actually at the point now where Ukraine's not got long left. It's a slaughterhouse. There's 500, nearly 600,000 soldiers died on the battlefield in Ukraine. Oh, but let me rephrase that. That's just the Ukrainian side.
Mm-hmm.
That's no both sides, guys. That's just the Ukrainian side.
Mm-hmm.
They're telling porkies. See the BBC and all that? I call that the propaganda network because it's no real. Mm-hmm. They're just talking shit. Look how they're going after certain celebrities now. Because
I know, that's what I was just about to say. Russell Brand, fucking Tim Ballard.
Look, I'm going to say about Russell Brand. I'm a subscriber of Russell Brand. He's a wee bit over the top, right? He did some crazy stuff in his younger days, right? So did all the other fucking celebrities and stuff like that. And if there is any evidence that says that he has done the bad things, let it come out. Let the evidence come out. But I'm going to say this now. They've been after him for a long time. The globalists have been after him for a very long time. He's had a target on his back for the last year. because the way he's been talking about stuff.
Oh yeah. And
BBC, Sky News, CNN, and all these networks now don't believe it. It's all made up pish.
exactly. I mean, they're even trying to go for fucking Tim Ballard after Sound of Freedom comes out.
I know, I've seen that.
The actual guy. I mean, granted, I will say this: if they genuinely did these things, yes, they should face the repercussions of their actions.
Yes.
Of course, anybody who commits these things, anybody who had voted to seal the records on the Epstein client list should probably thoroughly be investigated. But however, the people on that list have the power to shut down that investigation. That's the thing. And it's getting to be where the situation with Russell Brand and Tim Ballard, you go to all these different celebrities, some of the most high-profile feminists, strong allies for Me Too that would practically castrate a man for having any sort of allegations put against him, regardless of whether or not he was found innocent, are having to step back and say, wait a minute, something's not right here.
Look, I'm going to say this, right? Let's look at Prince Charles. Oh, sorry, King Charles, right? King Charles, one of his best friends. Who was one of King Charles' bestest friends, Dakota? Do you know?
I do not.
Come on. Now then. How's about that then? Jimmy Savile.
Huh?
Jimmy Savile. He used to go now then. How's about that then? One of the world's biggest pedophiles, right? Do you know he used to run private parties for King Charles?
Yep.
You don't see people going after King Charles, do you? Oh no. He's the king. He's the king.
The people on the Epstein client list are the people that can shut down any of those investigations.
Exactly.
And it's been happening. The FBI have tried to go after a lot of these people, but something shut down the investigation. Something high up.
And it's the same going back to the drugs. Going back to the drugs side of things. Everybody's like, aye, the cartels are bringing drugs into the country and stuff like that. Really? Is it what's their name? Is it the CIA?
CIA has been contracting out to the cartels ever since the Second World War. We would make deals with the mafia in order to keep an eye on the docks to avoid enemy intrusion from there. And the mafia fucking did a better job than the military.
What's that? And Tina Locke in the chat there. We don't want the Russell Brand story. We want the Epstein list. Exactly. There's a lot of famous people on there. A lot of very powerful people on there. A lot of powerful people that are still in charge right now. They're all corrupt. I say this. We need a clean sweep. We need a clean sweep at every country in the world.
I mean, John McCain's wife, she's actually gone on several interviews right now saying that, yeah, we all knew that Epstein was up to something. They may have not known the extent of it, but they knew something was happening with that guy.
Strange how he died, isn't it?
Yeah, his cellmate was a former cop. The security cameras suspiciously glitching out at the time of his demise.
Yeah.
And the guards have nothing to do with it. I'm going to say this as someone who has firsthand family knowledge when it comes to the prison systems, especially here in the U.S. If a prisoner's status says something along the lines of discharged, chances are that is because the guards decided to beat the living shit out of them.
Yeah.
It's the truth.
The world's messed up. That there's so many people getting away. Who else was on that was leaked about who was on his list? Who's the other top ones that was on his list?
Oh God, who was it?
Bill Gates? Bill Gates is on there. Right? Bill Gates
was on there. Bill Clinton, Hillary.
Oh, how else you would be?
Anthony Weiner, Will Smith. That one upset me. I liked Will.
Yeah. But look, I do think we are in World War III right now. It's World War IV we need to worry about, actually. China is going to invade. It's guaranteed. They want Taiwan back. They're going to. I don't know if they'll do it this year or no. I don't think they'll year this year because the window of opportunity is closing very quickly with the weather. The world is on the precipice of something happening. The world is on the precipice of something happening right now. And all the outlets, they're doing it. Even Twitter, even Elon Musk's is censoring people. YouTube censors people. I'm amazed that we got our monetization back, to be purely fucking honest with you.
I know, right?
If you want to sponsor the show, guys, you can become a member of the show, guys, in the chat. You see it in the bottom, and you can leave a donation, you know. If you would like to help the channel, helps Dakota, stuff like that, run everything. Everything. We are on the brink. Society collapsing. It's only a matter of time. Look, the news hasn't been reporting this, but there's been big riots in the UK in the last couple of days.
Yep.
Have you heard? Because it
I've
was
heard.
the asylum seekers had attacked girls, and the news doesn't report on this. They really report on bloody, what do you call it? This he, him, her, the new thing that's out. Stupid pronunciations of folk identifying as turnips and stuff like that. And what I've got to laugh at is BBC News. I don't know if America's got this or not, but BBC News now has got a special channel, and it's called BBC News Verified at the bottom.
Oh,
you
dear
get what I'm
Lord.
talking about? And they only put news. They say their news is real. It's been verified. But what a lot of folk don't realise is the woman that does the verified reports was actually done a couple of years ago for setting up false news.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's who's running the BBC verified. But let's face it, as the BBC, come on, the paedophile network. You think about all the folk that's worked there and that's went to jail and
Yeah.
you know.
I mean, it'd be a lot like Twitch. One of their main admins for moderation was a young lady who identifies as a deer.
There's that one there. We have slipped into what would seem a new dimension of total crazy when everything is the opposite way around. And then she says that is true. The asylum seekers coming into the UK, they're not asylum seekers. They are an army. Exactly. They are an army. I think they're an army because it's happening. It's not just happening. It's not just happening. And everybody doesn't realise this. It's not just happening in the UK. It's happening in Southern Ireland too. See Southern Ireland?
Yep.
It's happening there really bad. It's happening in Germany. It's happening in America. I mean, what's that in America, by the way? Where are all the Chinese folk coming from? I seen that at the border. No, these busloads of Chinese folk coming in. Busloads.
That is actually a condition from the loans we have taken out from China, that if we are not able to pay back certain amounts by a certain time, China owns U.S. land.
But how are they going to do that? But they invade to take the land?
It's already been done. No, that's the stipulation. If the U.S. was not able to pay their debts, and which we haven't, China could take land as simple collateral.
Yeah.
There's not invade. They can just move right in.
There's people need to wake up very quickly. Look, of course we need to wake up very quickly. Something is a brewing, and it's something that really bad is a brewing. Really bad. And I think it's a lot of it's to do with the, you know what that means, don't you? The old jibby jabby. Aye, the picky poke. And I'm just grateful. Look, I've got arthritis all in my body, but I'll tell you something new. See, if I'd had that injection, I probably wouldn't be here now. I'd probably be dead. Like a lot of people that I know have died.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'd be dead now. I'd be gone. I'd be playing my harp in a big cloud somewhere, you know. But look, I know a lot of people that have died, and it's a culling. It's a culling.
Oh, yeah.
What worries me is the bloody World Organization saying that they want the population of the Earth down to 500 million by 2025. I mean, even a nuclear war wouldn't do that.
A plague might.
A plague, aye. But what you mean as something that's been put in and then it's activated somehow.
Well, I'm just
And then when
saying.
everything falls apart because our armed forces have had the jibby jabby jobby thing, when they've had the jibby jab, even our armed forces will collapse because obviously they'll have it too.
Mm-hmm.
There's somebody in the chat. There's a wise person in the chat there. Same as me, same as Dakota. Not had it, will never take it, regardless of what they do. Exactly. But look, I will say this. See if anything does happen. See people like me and you, Dakota, that have actually spoke out about this, and people like person in the chat there that have spoke out about this. We will probably be rounded up. You do know that, don't you?
They'll try. It's not gonna get that far though.
Do you think so? What do you think is going to stop it? Like,
There's numerous things in action to stop it. And I mean, let's face it. Like everybody was trying to say last night was supposed to be the rapture and supposed to be the beginning of all this. What we're talking about? No, this shit's been going on for a long time, and it's just now that it's starting to slip through the cracks of just how truly bad it's been since at least the 1940s.
I see they're all saying it's the 23rd next month. Yeah, they've all changed it.
They already pushed it back.
I seen one on TikTok the day. Oh, it's the 23rd of the next month, and I bet that'll come. And then it'll be but the 23rd of the next month. 10 years later, they'll still be saying this. The rapture's taking me, and all the other ones will be left behind. Load of absolute bullshit, by the way. Don't believe in what certain things say.
There's been several versions of that. I mean, there's talks of alien ships, coming down and soul harvesting. Oh wait, that was actually what they really were doing. And this is something that a lot of our guests come on, and they have had some serious threats against them because of the things that they've talked out about. And damn near everything they've mentioned has come true.
Yeah, I think something is going to happen, and it's probably already happening. I think we're in I think we're in war with Russia. I think we're in war. Look, Putin's no stupid. Putin's not going to launch a nuclear strike because there's multiple things. One, I don't think he can, because I think our friends up there are probably protecting us, to be honest with you. I think they will stop that. But it's who's saying that. Here's a scenario for you. I was thinking about this to go. What happens if all this war with Ukraine, no, that's planned? What happens if Putin's in on it? What happens if Putin's in it with the rest of everybody? Think about
Makes
it.
you wonder, doesn't it?
Yeah. And he's the bad guy, that's the bad guy, that. But I bet you, eventually the war does end. Or it may go global, I don't know. Look, World War II was the same, it was planned. World War I was planned. Can't you? It's all planned. One world government, ladies and gentlemen. It's all coming to tradition. What's this? Look, whatever happens will blame on him, but will be a lie. Of course, it'll be a lie.
Of course,
it'll be a total lie.
They're gonna all of our news media outlets are gonna say Putin's the bad guy. All of Russia's media outlets are saying Biden's the bad guy. It's all a system to put us all together. When in reality, we gotta start knocking off our bullshit and start coming together as human beings.
Do you know that the Russians right now, and I know somebody that lives in Russia because I talk to them sometimes, and they were saying that the Russian government now are telling everybody to stock up on food and water. And they're actually building massive bunkers for their population. And it's not for war. It's not for war, it's for something else.
Yeah.
And our mainstream media is not telling us anything. Our mainstream media is not telling us a thing because they don't care about you. They don't care. I would say the UK and the USA is heading for like George Orwell material. It really is. I think we're there already. We're there already, but all it would take is one disaster to put us into total lockdown again. But the thing is, I don't think people will fall for it this time, the lockdown, right? And I think that's why all these people are coming into your country to go into your country to, so as they'll be used to police us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I don't think it's good. I think they're underestimating the American people because a lot of them are armed. Right? And they're underestimating the British people. Obviously, we've got our wee pen knives. We're not allowed any bigger than that. We're marching towards them, you know. But like, where it's going to happen. It's going to happen. I think it's going to happen this year and next year. Something's going to happen. And it's got to
Without
close
doubt,
everything
something
down.
big will happen.
And they will come looking for people like us, and they'll round us up.
Yeah. Right now, the most reliable sources I've seen are betting on something happening by the end of this year.
Yep.
Or at least 6 months into next year. It's a constantly shifting timeline because it's just so many different factors have to be monitored in order to be certain of what's going to happen. But something is going to be coming.
Yeah.
And right now, honestly, I've seen shifts where people are slowly starting to try to come back together. One thing I've always said, one of the things I missed about COVID is right when it first began, everybody was actually trying to come together and get over what was happening. You actually saw kindness. You actually saw human decency. Yeah, saw respect for everybody else because we were all into something else. But then it started to set in that something wasn't sitting right and everybody was getting pissed off and we didn't know exactly who to get pissed off at.
Yeah. I'm going to say everything. I'm going to say this because I came with only got like 5-10 minutes left or whatever. But I'm going to say this is everything is a lie. Everything is a lie. The Ukraine war with Russia and that's a lie. It's made up. It's I'm not saying it's not happening. It's happening. Aye, it's happening. Everything is a lie. It's no what you think it is. We're all getting played.
Mm-hmm.
You have no idea the things that's going on behind the scenes right now in this world. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I do think there is good guys out there, and they're trying to stop it. I really do. I don't know who they are, but I think they are trying to stop whatever's coming, and I hope to
Mhm.
God that they manage to do it. Who are they? Who are these people that are meant to be helping us? Is it the white hats they're called or
White
something? What?
Yeah, white hats.
Who are they? Who are the white hats? Are they like break off for like
They're
government?
secret society type.
Yeah, I would love to interview a white hat if possible. If you want to get interviewed, if you're a white hat and you want to get interviewed, you don't need
Well,
to show your face or your voice. You can come on and
that's the
talk.
thing, Gross. How do we validate their legitimacy?
That's very true. That's very true.
I mean, we
Well,
already have people that try to spam our messages, trying to say there's something big and bad, and we should interview them. But the second we actually try to schedule something,
I would like to. I'll tell you who I would like to interview as anonymous.
yeah,
They've been because I think they ken a lot of things. They ken a lot of things that's going on. You know what I mean? They do a lot of good. They do a lot of good actually, because I've been watching quite a lot of stuff that they do. So if you're out there and you're watching this and you're a member, we would love to interview you if you know somebody that would like to come on or whatever. But obviously you don't need to show your name or your face and stuff like that, you know. What's that in the chat there? Night folks have to go. Great chat. Catch you later. Catch you later, Ben.
catch you later, Lawrence. Thank you for being a member.
Thank you. And you're right, everything is a lie, has always been a lie, and we are waking up to it. Sorry. What happens when happens? They rest and start over again. What the children? Yeah. Look, it's happened. Look, we could be the fifth civilization on this planet for all we can. Right? But I'm hoping we're the last civilization. I'm hoping that we're the ones that go among the stars. I mean, we already are among the stars. We've got breakaway space. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I wonder what they think, right? See the breakaway civilization for Earth, right? The humans, right, that have broke away from us, and they've what is their planet? Where did they all stay? By the way, I've always wanted to get this.
It depends.
They break
You do realize there's been several.
right. There's
In
several.
fact,
Just
they've
name one
actually,
of them.
dude, some of the insiders say that the ancient Mayans had a breakaways, and that was all where a lot of the depictions of rockets came from.
Aye, but I'm talking about the kind of mere modern times where the breakaway fell at the 60s onwards. Okay, obviously we had the technology and we broke
Several
away.
there's several points.
Do you
They're on
think
several
they
different
watch us?
lines.
Do you think they watch the Earth and think to themselves, "Holy
They're aware of
fucking
what's going on.
shit," and they just sat back and watch us? They're probably watching us now for all we can.
They're aware
Picking
of
up
what's
this
going on.
Please help us! Help us! Beam me up! There you go.
They want
You
to.
might meet one. You might meet one next in 3 weeks' time. You never know. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's already been sightings of individuals I've been looking for.
So there you go.
And,
So that'll be an interesting night. So, what do we have planned for next week? I take it we don't have any guests want to come on yet. Nothing yet. Nothing in the grapevine, as one would say.
we'll see how everything unfolds.
Mm-hmm. Was that
Probably
last
might
one?
have to
Was the
start bringing
Great
back
Mud
the
Flood? That's something I would like to have on. Somebody to talk about the mud flood.
Yeah.
Tartaria. And all that. It's quite an interesting subject. That actually, the Great China Wall wasn't actually built by the Chinese; it was built by the Tartarians.
Yeah.
Quite interesting, actually. It's the flat earthers I would like to interview.
Yeah,
Because
but
I
we
some
scare
of their
them
science
off.
just doesn't add up for some weird mad reason. Can I get blocked on TikTok the other night? There, they were going on about it, and I says, "Well, why is it dark in Alaska for a month out of the year?" And they banned me just for that one question. Terrible.
Yeah.
Because they don't like asking questions. It's a very interesting subject. It is a very interesting subject, the mud flood, the Tertariums, because they've actually said that about America. They came across technology in America that was
Yeah.
there before. Yeah. I do think we've been lied to. There's a guy on TikTok actually, and he does a show about the Tartarians and that, and he was saying, "Oh, look at this battleship," and I've got a picture of this battleship, and it was in the 1700s. The battleship that he was showing was actually the Scharnhorst. It was a German battle cruiser. He was showing. He thinks people are not going to research this. And it was actually a
Yeah.
German cruiser for World War II. And he says, "Ooh, this is for the 1600s." And that. No, it's not. It's for the World War II. It was if you look really closely, you can see the swastika at the very back.
Yep.
So don't make what folk think. There is a lot of folk out there talk a pile of pish. We might talk pish sometimes, but we're trying to get the point across, you know. What's that? Whoa, 11262. Me thinks a lot of people are suffering battle fatigue. CA.
Yeah. I wouldn't be shocked, to be honest.
Yeah. You know. But it's been a good night tonight. And I'm fascinated for next week. If we're abducted and we're never seen again, I hope you'll remember us. You know, CIA will take away Dakota, and then they'll come for me. Oh, mind you, I don't think they'll take me because I'm too
Yeah,
stupid.
I've had. It's been interesting because sometimes we go into these subjects. How would drive to work later tonight, and there'd be a black SUV parked down the road from the side of my house, and I go to drive by them, and they're looking at me like, "He saw us."
Yeah, well, and you don't know, they might be the secret government. They're going to kidnap you tonight, put a sack out of here, and you'll wake up in a secret complex below the earth. Then again, you might wake up in a jail cell and say, right, that's that. You're in here for eternity.
Yeah, they're going to need some of the super soldier enhancements in order to lift my dead weight.
I don't know. They might want to turn you into a super soldier. They'd be like, what you call him? What's his name?
Dude.
Captain America.
Like, dude, I weigh almost 400 pounds.
Yeah, it'll be fine. We'll get you some special pills or something like that you can take.
I don't need any special pills, you old fart.
He does. What do you think, ladies and gentlemen? Look, honestly, I want to see a picture of you with hair. Honestly, I think that's going to be awesome.
Well, you've been stalking my Facebook enough, apparently.
Well, I can't help it. It just pops up. It's a notification. What do you want me to turn you off? Turn the notifications off?
Well, you don't answer my messages, so I figured you already
Well, I
did.
do answer your messages. I do
Well, you don't
answer you
stop
back
fucking
now and
talking about.
again.
No, you don't.
You don't like it when I message him, right? And then it gives me a round because I message him too much. And then I don't message him, and it gives me a round because I don't
Yeah, no,
message
it
him.
sounds
So
like
what
how
you
you
meant
complain
today?
about Jenny. Yeah, no.
That's honestly, by the way, you realize she is going to murder you one of these days. Honestly, just ignore him because he's a pain in the ass sometimes. Anyway, you'll have a great old time with your girlfriend. He's got a girlfriend, ladies and gentlemen.
My personal life is
Did
none
you?
of
Well,
your business. You're
that
the one that
reminds me.
made
Did
the.
you get? Did that reminds me? Did you get the puncture outfit for her?
The what?
Come on. The puncture outfit for your girlfriend. The puncture repair kit.
Oh, you cocksucker.
So, ladies and gentlemen, do you have anything to say, Dakota, before we go?
I'm fucking ashamed that it took me that long to realize what you were saying.
See when he goes off at night, especially on a Sunday night, you see him pumping up. Is that enough here? Aye, a wee bit more. Oh shit, she's got a puncture.
You're gonna be hearing that sound out of your car later.
Well, you're going to drop. What you got to do? Travel
No.
7,000 miles to the my wheels. You know.
No.
Look, as I don't see, didn't get the fact I was talking about the inflatable doll. Yeah, I'll tell you something. You get them in different colours now. But your kind of thing, you know, about the aliens and stuff like. You got a blue one.
That's more your thing, man. That's
Eh,
more your thing. The blue and the purples, my God.
Those masks are honestly got a thing about masks and handcuffs and stuff like that. But that, as Mike the Naked Bigfoot would say, is a story for another time. You know,
Dear
but I
God.
can't believe it took you that long to get that.
I know. What is wrong with me lately? I'm not as quick.
What's that? And it's lock. Ha ha ha. That cheered me up for the end of the night. Well, there you go. Just think about it in this sense. Tonight in the darkness, Dakota is going to be pumping up his doll. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll catch you all later soon, dudes, and have a fantastic
We'll see if the stream
night.
actually ends right this time.
Yeah.
My God.
Yes.
Anyway, much love. Stay safe, and yeah, we'll catch you next weekend.
Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today, ladies and gentlemen. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe anywhere you see Bald and Bonkers for even more insanity. Be sure to spread the love to the Bald and Bonkers boys' other endeavors. And a special thank you to our audience, guests, and everyone else who helps make this crazy ride happen. Amazing things are ahead. Learn more by visiting www.baldandbonkers.net. See you next time. Much love, and take care.
Wait, before we start talking shit, it didn't kill the stream.